2-0. Blake, is Kevin Durant the most overrated player ever?
Yes. And I'll give you the reasons why. He is. So, on the NBA top 75 list, do you know what he's ranked?
I don't know. Probably 15th?
No, 12th.
Ah, that was close.
So, they're saying he is a top 12 player of all time. And I'm going to give you guys who should be above him. He probably should barely crack the top 20. And maybe not even top 20 all time. Because, first of all, at number 13 you have Hakeem Olajuwon. He's just flat out better in basically everything than Kevin Durant was. Besides scoring, obviously. But
yeah.
Hakeem Olajuwon, not really. Like, he wasn't asked to pass, but I don't think he was, like, not that good as a passing big man.
Yeah.
But, okay, get this. So, it's weird because their like achievements are almost identical. So they both won 2 championships, both 2 Finals MVPs, both 1 regular season MVP, both 12-time All-Stars, both 6-time All-NBA first teams, both. Let me make sure I get this right. I think they're both 3-time second team. Yep, 3-time second team.
Wow.
Kevin Durant's never been third team. Hakeem Olajuwon was 3 times. Hakeem Olajuwon, though, because he's exponentially better on defense, has 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, and was the leader of those 2 championship teams, and didn't just join a 73-win team. He needs to be above freaking Kevin Durant. Okay, because what has Kevin Durant ever done without the Warriors system, Steph Curry, and everyone? Oh, what has he done? About to get swept in the playoffs. Maybe had his 2 worst games ever. Did you know 9 times, I think, it's like 8 or 9 times, he has shot below 35% in a playoff game. That is terrible. And his last
9 times?
Yeah. And
out of his, like, 40 playoff games?
Yeah, but he's supposed to be the most efficient scorer ever or whatever. Did you know how everyone says how LeBron had that terrible series against Dallas, which he did in the NBA Finals. Only one time did he shoot below 40%. One time out of those 6 games.
I mean, but he did only average 17 points for that series. So.
And because he just wasn't shooting all that much because I don't know why. But whatever demons were in his head. But I'm just saying. So you have Hakeem. And he was a 2-time NBA rebounding leader, 3-time blocks leader. So I think you're frozen again. No.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you're good. Sorry, viewers, for this stupid.
Okay. I just asked how many
scoring
titles did he get?
Oh, you're good. You're good now. How many scoring titles did he win? None that I can see. But But obviously he wasn't the best scorer in the NBA. But I'm just saying, all around, the intangibles, the way he led the Rockets to 2 championships, Kevin Durant's never done that.
I'm fine with Hakeem being above him.
Okay, so you have no qualms with that. Now,
I mean, I love the dream.
I won't keep diving too deep into everything, but at number 14 you have Julius Erving.
I can't hear you
Oh, can you hear me? You're frozen again too.
Can't anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I can hear you now. Okay.
Sorry,
what
viewers.
Did you say?
I said at number 14 we have Julius Erving. Okay, and he needs to be above Kevin Durant. I didn't know this until I was doing more research. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Your screen's frozen, but I can hear you. So
I'm listening.
Okay. So Julius Erving was a 2-time ABA champion, 1-time NBA champion, but I still think you should count 8 ABA championships as championships.
Oh yeah.
So
I agree.
3-time champion, 2-time ABA Finals MVP, or I guess it was playoffs MVP, and 3-time ABA Most Valuable Player, 1-time NBA MVP. So basically 4 MVPs.
4 MVPs.
16 All-Star appearances. 5-time All-NBA First Team. I don't know if they... Oh, and then 4-time All-ABA First Team. So really 9 first teams. And all these things. He has more rings, more MVPs, just had more success.
How many rings did Dr. J get?
He had 3. 2 in the ABA, 1 in the NBA.
And then 1 in the NBA. Okay.
Way more MVPs, more All-Star appearances, more first-team All-NBA finishes. So
if we switched Hakeem and Dr. J, and we moved them up, we moved KD down, he's 15th, which is what I said.
Okay, but there's more. I don't know too much about Moses Malone, but what I've heard of him is he was a beast. But I'm not...
Rebounding machine.
What?
He was a rebounding machine.
But I'm not necessarily going to put him above Kevin Durant. But I think you could argue. So at number 16, we have Steph Curry. I think you could argue he's better all time than Kevin Durant. Because Steph Curry has done more without Kevin Durant than what Kevin Durant has done without Steph Curry.
What did Kevin Durant do? Or, I mean, what did Steph
Championship?
Curry do without... Yeah, with an asterisk on it. He couldn't even win Finals MVP.
Okay, but he should have won Finals MVP. If you look back at his stats, he was like 26 points a game and like 5 and 7 or something like that.
Yeah, and they didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
The 2 vote getters where it was Andre Iguodala and then
LeBron.
second place was LeBron James.
I know.
That was it. Curry didn't even get a vote.
I'm just saying, he still... Did he not lead that team to a championship? Because if he didn't, who did?
Draymond Green. Draymond Green's the leader of that Warriors team.
No. He's like he's the heart and soul of the team. But Steph Curry, you have to admit, he might win another ring this year even. And have multiple... Like, his game is better than Kevin Durant's, and he's accomplished more. He has a unanimous MVP, 1 more than Kevin Durant. And I just think until Kevin Durant proves that he can do something without the Warriors system, then I don't think he deserves to be ahead of Steph.
Okay, but here's the problem with him being ahead, or Steph being ahead of KD. The second KD joined the Warriors team, Curry was the second best player on that team.
Yeah, because he led him.
He didn't lead him. Kevin Durant had to be the best player on that team for them to beat the Cavaliers. That was the whole reason they recruited him.
Well, they got him so they could have 4 All-Stars to the Cavaliers really 1 plus 2 former All-Stars.
Yeah.
That's why.
If Steph Curry can win a championship this year, I'm okay with it. But until that happens, KD's better than Curry.
Okay. Now we get into Giannis, who's ranked 18th.
Already?
Yes! He has done something Kevin Durant's never done. And he has more MVPs and a Defensive Player of the Year. And he led his own team to the championship. That has to count for more than just joining an already made championship team.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm surprised on the all-time list already he's 18th.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying already I rank him above Kevin Durant.
Oh, no. It was already, like, he's already 18th.
No, he's
that's
already
what I was like,
18th.
wow,
And
I didn't think he'd be that high.
then we have another one who I think should be higher. I don't know why he's this low, but I can't even find it. But I would argue Dwyane Wade is right there with Kevin Durant.
Right there or better?
I don't know. It was a toss-up, but I would personally give it to Dwyane Wade because, again, he has more rings, and not just he has more rings, but he led the Heat to the championship. And you know for a fact that the Heat would not have won any championships, even with LeBron, if Dwyane Wade hadn't been there and kind of mentored him and showed him the ways.
Yeah.
So I think he should get props for that because I mean, obviously LeBron was the driving force of those two championships, but you could argue it was only LeBron driving them because Dwayne Wade bought the car for him, kind of, like, for that analogy. So, like, it was through Dwayne Wade that LeBron was able to do that.
The problem with Dwayne Wade is he has 0 MVPs and I think 1 scoring title compared to Kevin Durant's 1 MVP and 4 scoring titles.
But then you could argue that basically Allen Iverson or like Carmelo Anthony is better than all those players because
Carmelo Anthony doesn't have a scoring title.
Okay, but I'm saying he's like regarded as one of the all-time best scorers.
Yeah.
Like I don't know all the scoring titles, but I'm just saying, like, if that's all he does, then he's just like what, Bradley Beal last year or something?
Okay,
Who's like,
hold up. Don't be dissing Allen Iverson, first of all, because Allen Iverson has 4 scoring titles, which is tied for the 3rd most ever with Kevin Durant and George Gervin. He also led his team to the finals.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, so would you argue that Allen Iverson and Kevin Durant are pretty close?
Yeah, they can be pretty close.
Because, in my opinion, okay, you put Allen Iverson on that Warriors system, then, he probably wins 2 championships too. So until Kevin Durant does something by himself, he's not even made it out of the second round with the Nets. And he choked in OKC when they had a 3-1 lead. And if you look at those games 5 and 6, he played terribly in those games and shot terrible. I think it was like 31% in both of those games. And yeah, so I think he should be right around 20th. Like when you enter the top 12 NBA players of all time, that is like a league that is so unprecedented that Kevin Durant should not be a part of the top 12. You can go ahead now.
Are you done bashing KD now?
Yes, I'm done.
All right. So, first of all, first thing I got to address is in the Thunder Warriors series in 2016. In Game 5, he had a game-high 40 points, which was the best of both teams. Game 6, he had 29 points. And then Game 7, he had 27 points.
And what series was this? Sorry?
This was against the Warriors. In the
3-1.
last 3 games when they lost.
Yes, but how many shots did it take him to get those?
I don't know. I've got to look that up now.
I'm telling you, he shot like 31%.
He shot 38% in Game 5. He shot...
for the most
32% in Game 6.
Yeah, so for the most efficient scorer ever, supposedly, that doesn't sound very efficient.
He shot 52% in Game 7.
No, yeah, I didn't. Game 7, he was good. I'm saying, but the only reason they were able to get to the Game 7 was because he underperformed in Game 5 and 6 when he could have just had a big game, closed them out.
I think because that Warriors team was the greatest regular season team ever.
Yes.
And had the greatest
Oh, you're frozen now.
player of all time not been in that series.
So just re-say what you just said. Oh gosh, still frozen. It says my internet.
Awful.
It says my internet is having problems, so that sucks.
Sorry,
still
viewers. This is
frozen.
all Blake's fault.
Yep. Gosh. Well, go ahead.
Can you
I
hear
think
me
you're
now?
good now. Yeah.
Okay. So that Warriors team was the greatest regular season team ever, and they proved it beating Kevin Durant. The only reason that they're not the greatest basketball team ever is because the greatest individual basketball player ever played against them in the finals and led the greatest comeback ever.
Yes.
But anyways, let's go through Kevin Durant's career and his shortcomings. All right. In 2010, at the age of 21, he loses in the first round. his only first-round loss of his career so far.
Until this year, probably.
But he lost to the Lakers, who were the NBA championships.
Championships.
I'm hearing the echo, and so I'm like,
oh,
what did I say? Anyways, he lost to the Lakers, who were the future NBA champions that year, and he took them to 6 games, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
The next year, they make the conference finals and lose to Dallas in 5. Also, future NBA champions. They won that year, right?
Yeah.
2012 makes it to the finals. At age 23, leads a team to the finals.
Yes.
The only other player I can think of that was younger was LeBron James, who did it at 22.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah, and they lost in 5 to the
Yeah.
you
no,
know,
that,
you attribute
you don't
that to
hold that against him. Yeah.
Yeah. 2013, Russell Westbrook gets injured because they were the number 1 team in the West that year, and they get screwed over. They lose to the Grizzlies in 5,
which they should
in the conference finals.
If Kevin Durant,
or not conference finals, conference semifinals.
Yeah, he didn't even make the conference finals without Russell Westbrook. If he is a top 12 player, he would have been able to. That team was still really good without Westbrook.
The team hinged on Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, though.
But that team was still, it's not like he had no supporting cast. That team was still that same championship level team from last year.
No, because they lost James Harden that year.
I know that, but they still had a decent supporting cast even without Westbrook.
It's still, I'm not going to hold it against them. You lose your second best player, and then you lose.
I'm just saying,
bad luck.
If I think hold on,
okay.
Just one last thing. If any of these other top 11, 12 guys had lost their second best player, they could have beaten that Grizzlies team and made it to the conference finals.
Do you think Michael Jordan could have won a series without Scottie Pippen?
Yeah.
Because he didn't.
Well, not once he reached his... I mean, because he wasn't in his prime until Scottie Pippen got
Kevin Durant was 24 when this happened.
I guess that's true. But is Westbrook better than Scottie Pippen? I don't think so.
I think so, yeah.
I wouldn't.
All time?
I disagree, but...
I love Scottie Pippen, but I think Russell Westbrook's better all time.
Okay, well, that's a topic for another day. You can keep going.
Yeah. Okay, 2014...
frozen again. No, still can't hear
Can you hear me? Let me know when you can hear me. I'm just going to keep talking until you can hear me.
You now.
Oh.
By the way, your video has been frozen for probably 10 minutes. And now your audio's frozen. Oh boy, guys. Well, looks like...
Can you hear me
yeah,
at all? Am I still there?
Now you're good.
Okay. 2014, they make the conference finals for the 3rd time, and who do they lose to? The San Antonio Spurs, who won the championship.
Yeah, all
the teams that Kevin Durant has lost to are the same teams that LeBron lost to in the finals.
Okay.
2016, same thing.
But LeBron beat them.
But LeBron did beat them. And then 2017, he joins the Warriors. They dominate, wins both years, and then gets injured. They would have won. Look, Kevin Durant would have been a 3-time NBA champion if they hadn't gotten injured.
Okay, but you can't say that, because then we could go back through and say all these other what-ifs.
I know. If you go down that rabbit hole. But you can't hold the 2019 finals loss against
I mean, I don't hold that against him at all.
Yeah. And then 2021... that goes to Game 7 against the Bucks, and Kyrie Irving's injured, doesn't play because they were dominating that series. They were up 2-1, and then Kyrie gets injured.
They were up
in
2-0.
Game 4. They were up 2-0, yeah. And then Kyrie gets injured, and James Harden had been hobbled the whole time.
Okay, but I get that he was undermanned, but if he had just performed in overtime, they would have won that whole series. He didn't make a single shot in overtime. Last game against the Celtics. Goes 0 for 10 in the second half. No excuse.
Okay, but in that overtime game, the final score was like 4-2 in overtime.
Exactly.
It was like the lowest scoring overtime ever.
So, who did perform? Who did those 4 points come from on the Bucks? Giannis.
Okay, congratulations. A 25-year-old Giannis can beat a 32-year-old Kevin Durant who just came back from an ACL tear.
You mean Achilles?
Great job. Achilles,
and it wasn't just back. He had played for a while.
That was first back, though.
Yeah,
it was
first
season back.
First season back, but it's not like that was like the first month back.
Yeah. All right, and then here's some other stats for you. In the playoffs, Kevin Durant has never averaged less than 21 points. And that one series he averaged 21 points was 2017 first round against the Trailblazers. Every other series has been over 25 points.
Okay.
LeBron can't even say that because in the finals he had the 17 points per game. Now, I am not saying that Kevin Durant is better than LeBron. I'm just saying Kevin Durant's really great.
Okay, but once you
has never had that kind of a shooting slump.
Once you get to the, he's had a worse shooting slump, but just was able to shoot more and score that amount of points.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that Kevin Durant, just because his scoring is good, does not mean he's better than. That does not mean he deserves to be in the top 12 when he hasn't led any team anywhere besides that year in Oklahoma where he led them to the finals and got blown out by LeBron, which you don't hold against him. But
they didn't get blown out. Those games came down to the wire, and the Heat executed better and won the close
Gentleman's
games.
sweep.
Yeah, but 3 of those 4 games came to the last 2 minutes.
Regardless, you guys let us know your opinions on this so we can settle this debate.
I don't think Kevin Durant is an overrated all-star. I think he's accurately placed where he is.
You said he should be 15th and that Hakeem and Julius Erving should be above him.
Okay, yeah, I did say that. But I'm not having him like 20th like you.
Yeah, I guess in your opinion, he's slightly overrated. In my opinion, he's all-time overrated.
I don't even have a problem with him being 12th.
Okay, but... okay, well, whatever then.
Anyways, there you go.